genesis of struggle. It all started in what felt like another lifetime. I was just another guy navigating the complexities of adulthood. I looked good on the outside, did everything right: college, stable job, nice car, 401k, but beneath the surface, you would have never known I was a mess. Relationships felt like minefields. My career was a series of unfulfilling jobs, and my self-identity was as stable as a house of cards in a storm. Full of rejection, feeling like I wasn't enough, always overlooked by women I desired. Never the main character of his own movie. No matter how hard I worked, no progress was being made. Wondering why I was doing all this in the first place, I felt stuck and would ask myself, is this really it for the rest of my life? The challenges I faced weren't just obstacles, they were profound questions about my worth, purpose, and my place in this world. The fire of transformation. In the wake of this identity crisis, the question that haunted me wasn't just about how to grow, improve, and figure all this out, but whether I even wanted to. As I was masking my pain with a hedonistic lifestyle, addicted to dopamine, vices, and distractions all around me, and flooding my phone every minute. Driven by a deep-seated need for answers, I threw myself into a relentless pursuit of knowledge. I devoured books on every topic imaginable, from personal development to psychology, relationships, and the intricacies of masculine identity in the 21st century. I quit my safe corporate job to commit myself fully to this journey. I attended seminars around the world, from finding myself naked in the woods chanting around a fire to being in sold-out arenas with well-known experts. I sought out mentors, dishing out over $100,000 on personal coaching, and subjected myself to the kind of introspection that most would find daunting, illegal, or downright insane. It was a period of intense learning and extreme self-discovery, a desperate search for a lifeline. The moment of awakening. This journey wasn't linear. There were moments of profound insight and crippling doubt, times when the light at the end of the tunnel seemed nothing more than a mirage. 6 months after quitting my job, I went to the bank to withdraw $20, only to have the screen read insufficient funds. And I realized I only had $14.63 left to my name. I had plunged into massive debt on my journey of personal growth, losing my mind like a madman, hell-bent on a mission to solve life's biggest questions. I didn't care about money as much as I wanted to seek the truth and transform my life. I refused to let money deter me from becoming who I wanted to be. I was willing to do whatever it took to keep going. I slept in my car, worked out of coffee shops for free Wi-Fi, and even showered in the gym. I had shattered the social norms of sanity, and in the process, I felt like I had a taste of freedom. What many would perceive as suffering, I didn't see it that way. I was fully alive, a man with a mission, and I didn't care about society's judgments. My brother and friends allowed me to crash on their couches until I could afford a dingy studio apartment infested with cockroaches. To be honest, I was content. Personal growth doesn't require much other than to be honest with yourself, open to learning and to take action. But gradually the pieces began to fall into place. It dawned on me that the anguish, the bewilderment, the absence of direction, the crushing debt, and the isolation weren't unique to me. They were experiences shared by millions of men who silently grappled with their own internal battles, despite the external facades of societal success. Their internal struggles mirrored mine. Armed with this realization and finding no solution available for men other than fashion advice that was basically softcore porn and men's entertainment, I decided to create knowledge for men. It wasn't just about sharing my story. It was about offering a beacon of hope for others navigating their journey in isolation, to serve as a home base for men on their growth journey. I began with a blog and a podcast, spaces where I could share the wisdom acquired through my experiences and the profound insights of experts from a spectrum of different life disciplines. This included spiritual guides, life coaches, relationship experts, New York Times bestselling authors, multi-millionaires, Navy SEALs, Olympians, and military heroes. From over 400 hours of in-depth interviews, one profound lesson emerges. A man's true power is not inherent, it is earned, tested, and earned again. Every hero embarks on a unique journey, facing formidable challenges and enduring hardships that test his resolve. It is through this relentless journey of perseverance and facing trials head-on that a man discovers his true power and ultimately his freedom, the path to resilience. And just when I thought I had it all figured out, it was a morning like any other, and the phone rang. I could hear the somber tone in the sheriff's voice as he delivered the news. Your father's passed away. It felt as if the world had suddenly come crashing down all around me. The emotions welled up inside of me: anger, rage, confusion, and an overwhelming sense of pain. And I laid in bed, my mind spiraling into an existential abyss, unable to move, just in complete denial. And that went on for another 2 weeks, and then another tragedy would strike again. A close friend of mine had met an untimely end.
4 Americans and a local pilot killed after the helicopter they were in crashed Sunday night in Kenya.
It was funeral after funeral. I felt completely defeated and afraid. As an emotionally numb man, I became distant, and my girlfriend of 4 years decided to break up with me. 2 weeks later, it was a relentless barrage of losses, one after the other, each one enough to break a man. I laid in bed, unsure of how to cope with such immense pain and sadness, all hitting me at once. In the middle of the night, I walked myself to the balcony on the 17th story of a downtown San Diego high-rise apartment overlooking the skyline, looking down below at the street, contemplating a quick escape. Tears streamed down my face, and I thought, I can't live like this. But in that moment, a spark of determination ignited within me as I heard the Navy's ships docked just across the bay of San Diego. And I heard a horn. It was in the distance, and I perhaps thought that was a sign from my Navy veteran father. So I took a step back, and I realized that I had to keep going. It wasn't just about me and my feelings, it was about honoring my father's memory. He would not want me to suffer as a result of him passing. He would not want that. He would want me to live fully as my friend. The responsibility was mine to rise, to take the first step, to confront my own reality and make the necessary changes to move in a better direction, no matter how dark of a cave I was in. It was a battle within me, a war in the mirror. Every time that I saw my face, to quit and fall into vices or keep going through the ring of fire. I asked myself, if this were my last year, what legacy would I leave behind? The answer was clear. I couldn't quit on myself. I had to take one step at a time, even if it felt like progress was painfully slow and nothing was happening. I would not stop. Life's challenges were relentless, and I had to give it everything I had. I couldn't let myself become a force of darkness, succumbing to the endless allure of vices. I needed to be a force for good and stay grounded. You won't always achieve everything you desire, but the true test lies in your response to those moments of extreme defeat. It's in how you rebound from loss that a man's power is truly forged. Everything here began with a vision. for a man without a vision perishes. I said to myself, I'm not done yet. I've got more in me. So I turned the pain into fuel to do the impossible. Igniting the flame of brotherhood, what began as a personal project with a dozen guys grew into a global community of men, all seeking guidance on their paths to becoming stronger, more grounded men. Men began to travel from all over to hear my message, in underground halls, in the corners of coffee shops, and in empty college classrooms.
Being grounded allows you to do things you never thought possible. In your hardest times in life, being grounded will set you free.
It doesn't matter if you were black, white, Asian, Latino, rich, poor, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, gay, or straight. I don't care what you are. I care about your desire to grow, evolve, and go on a journey to become the strongest version of yourself. To see a man's hunger in the eyes, that he's dead set on a mission to grow, who's done with limiting beliefs, settling, and wasting this precious opportunity of life. I'll accept you with open arms. As knowledge for men evolved, so did I. The more I shared, the more I learned, not just about the topics I was exploring, but about myself. I realized that my journey through the depths of despair wasn't a detour. It was the path. It was the way. Every setback, every loss, every moment of doubt, that was really a step towards becoming the man I needed to be, not just for myself, but for the community, for the movement of men that was growing from all around the world. It just kept growing. I had guys come from New York all the way to California to attend my events, then from Asia and from Europe. Men were leaving their families, using sick days to get time off from work, getting on planes for 15 hours, having 1-2 day layovers just to hear this message, to be a part of this fast-growing movement. This message was touching all corners of the globe, in person and virtually. The awakening, embracing life's journey. The realization brought me back from the edge. The moment I found myself contemplating the end was the moment I began to truly understand the value of life. It wasn't about finding a quick fix for the pain or escaping into a hedonistic lifestyle full of vices and partying. It was about accepting reality for what it was. With all its twists and turns, dark caves and painfully lonely nights, the failures and rejections as a necessary ingredient of growth. It's a part of the journey. It's supposed to happen. How much further do you need to be pushed before you can let go of the limiting beliefs that are tearing you apart every day? How severe must things become before you commit to the effort needed to transform into a better version of yourself? Remember, the whole luxury of just endless tomorrows is an illusion. One day will no longer be a possibility. Instead of waiting for the elusive one day, why not make the choice to change today? I learned that vulnerability is not weakness but strength. Sharing my story with all its social embarrassment, rawness, and realness allowed me to connect with other men from all walks of life on a level that I never thought possible, all over the world. It became clear that the struggles we face as men, the doubts that plague us, and the fears that hold us back are not solitary battles. You are not alone. They are the common ground on which we stand as men, as human beings who strive to do good in this world. Knowledge for Men is your home base, a community of grounded men making their mark on the world. Through Knowledge for Men, I've had the privilege of guiding thousands of men on their journeys of self-discovery, helping them become stronger, more grounded men, creating epic relationships, reclaiming their power and masculinity, and ultimately becoming the strongest versions of themselves. More importantly, I've had the honor of learning from them, their stories of resilience, their moments of breakthrough, and their testimonies of transformation are constant reminders of why I started this journey in the first place. Looking back, I realized that the night I contemplated ending it all, the loss of my father, friend, and ex-partner, all in a month, were crucial, defining moments of my life. It was a choice between succumbing to the darkness or fighting my way through to the light. Inch by inch, step by step, day by day, I chose the latter, not because it was easy, but because I realized that my life, our lives, and our stories are worth more than the sum of our failures, setbacks, and the rejections. I chose to live. Today, Knowledge for Men stands as a testament to the power of personal transformation. It's a platform, yes, but more importantly, it's a community. It's a movement, a call to action for any man who's ever felt lost, alone, or like he's not enough. It's a reminder that what one man can do, another man can do.
How will you live? How will you live? How will you live?
The metamorphosis of man. My journey from the brink of despair to the forefront of a movement for men's personal development is not just my story. It's a narrative shared by every man who has ever dared to question, to seek, and to grow. It's a testament to the fact that we are not defined by our lowest moments, but by our willingness to rise above them and keep going despite all the odds. So to anyone standing where I once stood, know this: you are not alone. Your struggles, your pain, and your doubts are the crucible through which your true self can be forged. The setbacks, failures, and rejections are the way. It is the path. They are supposed to happen. Embrace the journey with all its hardships and triumphs as the path to becoming the grounded man you are meant to be. This is not just my journey, it's ours. And for you, it begins.
Andrew, so what do you want these men to do next?
I've shown you who I am. Now, show me who you are.